Mavs drop their third in a row last night. They lose 118-109 to the Denver Nuggets. And, you know, it's always terrible when you come out of a game and you hold Nikola Jokic to 14 points and then you get drubbed like you did. Because they were really, realistically, not in this game after halftime. Or really after a little way into the second quarter. Nuggets outscored the Mavericks 35-19 in the second quarter. Really have control of the game throughout. We're up 20 for stretches. Dallas kind of makes a later push. Luka Doncic played great, 37 points, 9 assists, had 4 steals. Nobody else looked very interested in playing basketball last night for the Mavericks. Kyrie Irving was out with a back issue. That does not sound like it's going to be anything that keeps him out past this one game. They go into All-Star weekend now, so good rest for Kyrie Irving. Good rest if there's any lingering issues on the heel contusion for Luka Doncic. And good rest for Josh Green. Because he is just, I think that the increase in his usage and his minutes, he could use the recharge. He's had to play a lot more ball lately than he's been accustomed to. And that probably takes a little bit of a ramp-up period. So a good chance to get the refresher there as the Mavericks now sit tied for 7th. Where do you think they eventually end up?
5.
Because I mean, they could be anywhere between. We've talked about 3 and 10.
I think they end up at 5. If you look at the stat, I think they're better than. Let's go to the stat. I think they're better than Minnesota. I still, man, I can't buy Sacramento.
I can't either. Light the beam.
That's their thing, right?
Yeah, they literally send up like a purple bat signal.
And they're better than New Orleans and Golden State and Oklahoma City and all those teams.
You think they are better than Golden State?
Yeah.
I mean, Golden State has not been great this year. Yeah, Golden State has not been great this year. They are the exact opposite home and road splits. Golden State's 22-7 at home, 7-22 on the road.
That's absurd. Like, you can't be 7-22 on the road.
No.
And
I mean, Dallas can't be 12-19. That's got to get rectified. The way they've played on the road has to get fixed.
It does, but look at the West. I mean, every team pretty much has got a losing record on the road. Denver's 500. Memphis is 6 under 500.
I mean, that's the goal, right? Shoot for 500 on the road.
Sacramento's 2 games over 500 on the road. Phoenix is 6 under. Clippers 2 over. Minnesota 6 under. Mavs 7 under. Pelicans 9 under. Golden State 15.
Man, these numbers you're reading off, it sounds like my golf score. Like just 7 under, 9 under. Just, damn.
I can see that.
That's tough there. No, I do believe. I think Sacramento. Where would you put Dallas right now in the West? Behind Denver and Phoenix, probably. Would you put them behind Memphis?
I don't buy Memphis, but I mean, you can't argue with the season they've had again.
I want to get some. The one thing I don't like is, I know it's a small issue, but I don't like that Kyrie Irving wasn't able to play last night. I want to get more time with Kyrie, and as much time that we can get in with Kyrie and Luka to figure out some of the things on offense. That's what I want done. And so I want as many of those opportunities as I can. So that's a little bit of a frustrating thing. But ultimately, Mavericks, this connection should work out, I think. I think we all feel like the offense should work out. The defense is going to be a work in progress. But the time they've shared on the floor so far, Dallas's offense has been really efficient when Luka and Kyrie have played together. And Brian Windhorst was on ESPN's Get Up yesterday. So this is ahead of the Denver game. And Windhorst was talking about how strong people believe this connection between Luka and Kyrie is going to be.
They are already looking like they have a spirit of working together. They will work out the kinks. And after this game in Denver, they come home after the All-Star break for a 6-game homestand. 4 of those 6 games are against teams with losing records. We could be back here in 10, 12 days talking about how great this pairing looks together. But obviously, that was a bit of a bumpy first close game situation the other night.
Yeah, they've got to figure out their late game situations. But isn't that more on Jason Kidd than the connection between Irving and Luka?
Yes, it is.
That's got to be his. And look, Bassick made a great point during Crosstalk the other day. Why the hell is, if you don't trust Christian Wood on defense, fine, whatever else. When it's ball out of bounds, 10 seconds left, and you need a bucket, why is he not on the floor? Sub him in at least for ball out of bounds at the end of a game. He is one of your better offensive players.
He is. And that's the frustrating thing. Like you mentioned, I think it is personal.
There's just something we don't see.
And that sucks.
This is the case whenever we haven't been able to add up issues with any sports franchise. Like, hey, why is this player falling out of favor? We always find out later, like, oh, here's the jagged, screwed up piece to the puzzle that if we would have known this, but they weren't telling us, then, oh, there's the complete picture. Now it makes sense what they're doing. They're not giving us that piece. Not that they should, not that they have any reason to. I mean, they're completely, it's completely within their right to keep things in-house. If they want to do that, I don't have a problem with that. But I'm just saying it makes it difficult.
I prefer that.
Yeah, it makes it difficult for us to understand it, though.
Yeah.
It just and makes it difficult for fans to understand.
I prefer them keep things in. I have never felt, and I know I'm in the minority on this one, and I'm cool with that. I've never felt we as fans have a right to know everything.
No, we don't. We don't.
We don't have a right. You know, like everybody says, no, the fans have a right to know. No, you don't.
We don't, but here's what I will say. Jason Kidd, don't get frustrated when you get questions from the media about Christian Wood.
Correct.
Is that if you say, look, hey, well, we'll just don't be upset that why don't they understand my process when you don't want to reveal everything about your process. That's
100%.
Totally within your right to do that. But don't then get frustrated when you get questions about it. Because he has gotten frustrated at times when Christian Wood questions come up.
Totally agree.
And so to me, like, yeah, I think it's, you know, I actually really like the way Mike McCarthy will say this sometimes. Mike McCarthy will talk about, look, that's something we're handling in-house. Or look, we're approaching it this way. And so he tells you, like, there's reasons for our decision. I don't want to necessarily give them to you yet, but I understand your question. You guys don't have all the information, so we'll leave it at that. That's the way to handle it.
Yeah.
Just and address it. Now, maybe he doesn't want to even infer there's something wrong and potentially damage whatever relationship they do have with Christian Wood and make it any worse. Maybe they're trying to work on it, so he doesn't want to throw him under the bus by even insinuating something is off. But don't then get upset at questions or be like, why would they question me as to my decision making? Well, because to be honest, dude, like, you don't have a great track record going back to Brooklyn and Milwaukee with handling situations like this.
And listen, you know, we don't have to know everything, but you're right. I mean, if you keep things secret, then, you know, the media is going to write what they want and the fans are going to think what they want. You can't get upset with the questions. You just can't.
Yes.
I think it's personal. If it's personal, that's a problem.
Yes.
You can't make coaching decisions or managerial decisions based on personal.
Kyrie Irving, as we've talked about, the ball movement has gotten so much better when he's been in the lineup. Offense has run really efficiently. It's been an exciting pairing, but we've all had this discussion of, like, how long is this going to last? Whether it be, you know, how long is it going to last in terms of, are they going to be able to re-sign him? Whether it's, if they do re-sign him, how long is it going to work out that he's able to stay here, stay out of trouble, stay in the good graces, everything like that. Kyrie Irving, apparently, according to Woj, Adrian Wojnarowski, I never know how to say it. It's like trying to say Worcestershire sauce. How's his last name? Say it for me.
Wojnarowski?
Wojnarowski. I always want to put an R before the J, like Wojnarowski.
Yeah.
Wojnarowski. Adrian Wojnarowski was on that same segment of Get Up and gave what I think, and given who it's coming from and what a well-connected insider he is, gave to me the most positive, sunshiny outlook I've heard yet on the potential of Kyrie staying in Dallas past this season.
Dallas didn't make this trade and give up. And Monica mentioned, you know, Finney-Smith, Dinwiddie, and then also a first-round pick, 2 second-round picks. They didn't give that up for Kyrie Irving to be a rental for them. You know, I think it's going to be a negotiation. I think it's going to be, they'll probably want to get Kyrie Irving on as short of a deal as they can. You keep leverage as an organization, and you keep trade value with him if he's on a shorter deal and things go awry. But certainly, they're all invested in making this work. Kyrie Irving, Luka Doncic, he knows they weren't good enough to win prior. I think it's more likely than not Kyrie Irving stays in Dallas just because of what they invested in him. And his chance to get the kind of contract he wants is going to be with it for all the reasons they traded for him. They were at a shortage of talent around Luka Doncic. Listen, hopefully this thing goes well enough. It's never going to be perfect with Kyrie Irving, but I think given what they gave up and Dallas's track record of being willing to pay players who want to be there, I think it's more likely than not Kyrie Irving is in Dallas.
So Woj is not typically, does not play the role of analyst. He plays the role of, this is what I'm hearing.
Yes, that's it. That's all he does. That's fine. That's what I want, right?
Which he did not say there, I'm told Kyrie's more likely. But I think you let what you hear from the inside inform the way that you're going to talk about those issues. So if Woj is talking that directly about it's more likely than not that Kyrie resigns in Dallas. That to me says betting odds favorite then should be Kyrie resigns in Dallas if Woj is talking like that. Because that means he's got it on pretty good authority, probably from both parties, that they want it to work out.
Listen, if Woj says something, I believe it. If Woj says that he's more likely than not to sign with the Mavericks, I buy that. He's hearing that from somebody very connected.
Yes.
Not just the Mavs front office, not just Kyrie's people, but the NBA, from Kyrie's agents, from Kyrie. He's hearing it from somebody important.
Yeah, and I think when you look at...
And by the way, I don't think that's a leverage play on Kyrie's part.
What isn't?
Like, I don't think it benefits Kyrie for him to say and have it out there he's more likely to sign with the Mavs.
Oh, no. I don't think so either. I think that's just genuinely where Woj is hearing it's at right now.
Right,
Which, if that's the case...
Good.
That's encouraging if we do it. Now, we read something on the air yesterday from Yahoo Sports. Jake Fisher had talked about the Mavericks are not going to just lose Kyrie if that happens. That they are committed to learning from the Jalen Brunson issue last year and saying, look, if we're going to do this, we're going to make sure we facilitate a sign and trade. You
have to. Because he's gonna be able to bring you back something.
Yes. Yeah, and look, it may just be some flexibility within, a certain contract and maybe a pick. It's probably, you're not going to get a sign and trade and be able to go get Kevin Durant or something, but you'll be able to get a piece that'll help you. But either way, it sounds like that's not even going to be an issue. This sounds like, look, the Mavericks are committed to getting this done. Kyrie is in favor of getting this done. And if it works well enough to where Kyrie's happy here and the Mavericks are happy to have him, then that means Luka's happy as well. And that means that Luka's in a spot that feels like, look, you're not at risk here. Because, I think that's all been in our internal fear here is getting A-Rodded like the Seattle Mariners did. When it was just like, we're going to lose him. We can't keep him. He's incredible, and we're not going to be able to keep him.
That's what you don't want. You can't do it back-to-back years where you get nothing for somebody, where you get nothing in return. They've got to find a way to get something in return if they're going to lose him. They've got to do the sign and trade. But, man, if he signs here long-term, it's great on the surface. He seems happy for 5 days, for a week or whatever. He does seem happy. He seems like there's no...
It's volatile, though. It's unpredictable.
It is, but again, think of the situations he was in. All right? He was in Cleveland. There's media everywhere around LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes to Boston. The local media is pains in the butt.
Brooklyn.
And then he goes to Brooklyn. Now, granted, there's not a single Nets fan in the world.
Other than Kyrie. Kyrie grew up one.
The Nets are a bigger team nationally than they are in their own town. That's a Knicks town. They're a much bigger team nationally. But the New York media is still the New York media. This is different. There's no pressure here. There's no media here that's going to be up his butt.